All right, welcome back to Post Smut Clarity, a Smut Curious book club with my best buddy Nettie. This is just two guys reading smutty books, talking about it, enjoying it, giving our take on things, falling in love in the mix of it. Maybe, who knows?
Who knows?
Or it's just a healthy little bromance.
Given the topic for today, who knows? Who knows?
If we played sports together, I think that could seal the deal.
It's dangerous territory there.
Yeah, so this episode, what did we read?
We are reading, by popular demand, Heated Rivalry, which we didn't know was the second book in the set of books. But after doing a little digging, they're all like pretty independent. So you don't need to read them in order. They make sense independently. So it wasn't too bad. But yeah, a show was made of it. And so that's why it's kind of risen in popularity. Neither of us have watched the show. So we just the book so far. So we might, maybe we'll do a show unpack one day. We'll see. Get the watch party. We'll do a live watch party. That'd be wild. All right. So let's jump into the no spoiler synopsis. So what is this book about? All right, so we have two main characters, Shane Hollander and Ilya Rozanov. These are both like top NHL players and they're rivals. So Shane is the disciplined, really image conscious, shaped by like family expectations. While on the other hand, Ilya is a more reckless, magnetic, like openly provocative kind of character. So they're like dynamically opposed. One's kind of clean cut, really about the game. The other one's just kind of naturally good and like more the villain in the story when it comes to this rivalry. But after they have some encounters in person, there's like an obvious charge between them. And so they start to develop this secret, purely physical relationship. And so we watch that kind of unfurl throughout their career and see what this relationship blossoms into. So it's super, super intriguing, super interesting book. First for us. First MM book for us.
Yeah. It was honestly, a good book, in my opinion, to start with, to kind of explore the male on male, male for male.
Yes.
I was surprised. Like
100%. I thought I was going to be a little more like, oh my gosh, this is so crazy. Like I thought I was going to be a little more adverse. I don't want to say that word because like it's almost sounding homophobic, right? But like, I thought I was going to have more like, I'm straight, I can't believe I'm reading this reaction, but it wasn't that way. It was a good story and I enjoyed it the whole time. I was surprised too.
No, I'm right there with you. I don't yuck anyone's yum. I know you don't either. You're honestly one of the most like accepting people that I know. So, like I had that same reaction of like, I was a little worried that I might be like, ooh, girls, what the fuck? I just these visual reactions because it's not, I don't know, it's hard to describe those things, right?
Well, it's unknown territory for us, and it's like in the like traditional male cis straight space, right? This is like the opposite of what we're supposed to engage with, right? Like this is like, you don't touch that space, don't read it, don't look at it, it's contagious, like, right? Like that's how it's treated. And it was really, I am so happy we did it because like it pulled the veil out and it's like, oh, this is just another relationship and it's actually cool to learn about it. So it was like, it was really refreshing. It was really refreshing.
Yeah, I do feel like it was refreshing and I really enjoyed it. I do feel like this book to me was proof that the more smut I read, the more smut we read, I become more desensitized to it. And I'm like,
I was like, yeah,
it's just a dick. It's two dicks.
Two dicks.
Come on, guys.
We've read more than that.
Only two?
Only two.
In their normal size?
Normal size?
Come on.
They're not even airtight, bro.
They're hockey sized. Right?
They're hockey sized. Hockey size is different. You're right. But 100%. So it was like, it was cool to delve into this and it be a good book. It was well written. It was like, there's levels to all the books we've read and we always kind of compare to the past. To me, it wasn't as flat as Pucking Around was. Like Pucking Around just was like, the sex was all of it. And the story just almost didn't make sense around it. It was an okay story, but like the sex was it. Everything else was kind of like fluff. This still had a story, even though the majority of it was the sex, right? Like it literally, and like this stuck in my head, it literally skips scenes by when they have sex essentially, right? Like there's like just years go by and it's just we met. So I thought it was interesting how it still had a story compared to Pucking Around, but it was not a full like standalone story without the sex.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's funny that you bring that up because there's a moment in this book where I was like, God, this is the like the friction and the story that we should have had in Pucking Around between
Yes.
Jake and Caleb.
Yes.
Where it was
Yeah.
like we got none of that, and this does it so well. Where I'm like, I kind of feel some of the shame and the fear and the
Yes.
like that tension,
Yeah.
and you don't get any of that in Pucking Around. It is
No.
so easygoing and so like like it's we figured
And
everything out.
totally. And like I feel like because like not that the other one didn't like pay attention to hockey, like she didn't do her research, but this one like I felt the sports like background in it, if that makes sense. Like
But
the
she doesn't talk about any of the games. I thought
no
about that
games.
very specifically. There are no games, but you do actually understand things that are happening,
Yeah.
and like
It's
seasons progress
they don't do
and there's
full games.
championships. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, but
Yeah.
you get little bits,
Little
but you get
clips.
enough
Yeah.
where you like the hockey is still part of it.
Yeah, yeah. Because hockey very much envelops the whole story, right? But it's not. It's interesting. It's a good flow of all the ideas put together, and you don't feel overly indexed in any area. I feel like it was done really well. It was done really well.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so what rating would you give the book?
So I honestly would give it on the higher end of spicy. This is I think it's right there with Pucking Around to me, but it's not as like wild concept, if that makes sense. Like there's no Jacob's ladder, there's no 2P's
Yeah,
1V penetration. Like so I'm gonna give it a 7.8. So high up
yeah,
there, but it was like very traditional for
yes.
the most part.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. A ton of sex and spice.
Yes, yes.
Very traditional.
Yeah, yeah.
Modern tradition.
Depends who you're asking about.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, but like I thought about this very specifically. There's that scene where Rachel in Pucking Around, where Rachel grabs Jake's head and forcibly causes
Yeah, yeah.
makes him suck on Caleb,
Caleb's, yeah.
suck Caleb off. Like that scene, I was like, oh, like
Yeah.
there's no consent here. What are we doing? I can't like. And there's so much more of like
There's
that
like
kind
high
of,
tension
like,
moments where like you don't necessarily feel comfortable yet, and they just dive in, and
yeah,
yeah, and it's interesting because like even the last book we read, Haunting Adeline, that one like similar like no consent moments,
yeah.
and those make you feel really on edge when you read those like sex scenes. You're like, oh my gosh, like I'm a little uncomfortable, and then you kind of get through it. But this one had none of that. I didn't feel that way almost at all.
No, it built up really nicely. It and the relationship grew, and like the tension kind of went along with it and built with the relationship growing
Yeah, yeah.
and culminated in salad tossing.
It 100% did. Spoiler alert. It totally does. It totally does. So this let's make it the cutoff here. So
Okay, so wait.
go.
You gave the spicy
Yes,
rating.
my bad.
I agree. That's all. 7.8. No, but I need to get mine in. God damn.
You do. Well, you start with
7.8.
the
It's spicy. Story though, I'm conflicted on the rating for the story because like I told you as we were talking about this right before we started recording, there's a moment towards the end where I got all teary-eyed and I'm like invested in this story. And at the same time, it's not deep. And so in terms of like it's a page turner, super easy, really enjoyable. I like that. See, I'm conflicted. It's like a 6 or a 7.
Yeah,
Probably
yeah.
more so like a 6, 6.5, because it's not super deep.
Yeah. And I think, or go ahead.
No,
No.
it's just not super deep.
That's so I'm glad you brought that up because like I've been kind of reevaluating how I'm rating the books because I tend to give them lower ratings. I feel like because I'm like I didn't learn a life lesson from the book. You know what I mean? Like I want more out of it sometimes.
I learned a
But
life lesson from this one.
I did it. Well, this one did give a life lesson. But so this is the way it culminates at the end in the feelings was done very well, I thought. Because like I had the same reaction where I was like, oh my gosh, like I feel their love. Like I feel like I am teary-eyed because of the expression of their love and how it kind of came together and how they can go public. it's still kind of like in the air a little bit, but you can feel that they care about each other very much. It makes me want to give it a higher rating, and because I think, like, back to what I was saying, it doesn't need to have a moral story. Or I'm talking to myself, not to anyone else, but I'm talking to myself. I usually want,
Mhm.
like, I want some moral outcome that I learned from, and that's unfair for this genre. I feel like that's not necessarily what this genre is for. It's more of an entertainment genre, and this did that. Like, I was entertained. I felt the feelings at the very end in a very strong way, even though it was like light touches of story throughout, especially towards the beginning. And so I want to give it a like 7.5. Give it high
I like that.
because the feelings were felt, and I could see the characters develop. I felt their love develop, and by the end I was like ready to cry for them. And so I was like, cool,
Yeah.
this author nailed it for me.
Yeah, you changed my mind. I agree with you. Because she did a lot with little,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
there's a little story,
She
but
painted
a,
like
a good impact.
yeah, yeah. And that's what I'm with you, because like I would have typically rated this low because I'd be like, yeah, like there's no like this, there's no that, there's missing elements, like these tropes that I'm looking for aren't in there. But I think that's unfair for the genre, and so I'm like
Yeah.
re-evaluating how I read these books, and I think with the tools she had and with the genre, she crushed this one. Like it's done well.
Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's there. I saw a post earlier today from one of our favorite authors, Nevessa Allen, and she kind of talked about some of these things, and that the harsh and unfair judgment of romance is
Mm.
like wrapped up in misogyny, and it's a
Damn.
really funny post because at the end of it, then she's like, and those people aren't any good in bed. And honestly,
That's
after
funny.
having read as many books as we have, romance novels, and like really delving into it, it could not be for like that could not be more true because
Bro,
this is
it's
like these are handbooks in desire and upping your game.
100%. This is, and like we've said this so many times, and we're gonna keep saying it every episode. Like I can't say it out loud enough. Like this is the code. It's out in the open. It's free for you to learn, and no one's just taking the time. And she's right. And I
Oh,
think anyone who cracks this open and reads it and is like, "What the fuck? This is insane!" Like, how lame are you
yeah.
automatically in life and in bed? Like, oh, like you're not interested in any of this at all, like you're outed yourself in the lamest way. So I agree with her. I totally agree with her.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut deep cut to back to pucking around and be like, bro, it's not gay for you to like this. It's got bars in it. Like,
Dude, if you haven't listened to that podcast, you got to go back and listen to that. That was the best. The character was like touches a penis because it has a Jacob's ladder. It's like, yeah, dude, this isn't gay. That's interesting. Look at that
this is fucking like National Geographic right here. You gotta
Yeah,
see what's going on.
dude. If I'm anything, I'm curious, and I got to figure this out.
Smut curious, see?
All ties together. But yeah, no, I like that a lot. I like that a lot. And it's the more we read, the more I'm understanding the genre better, and the more I think I'm like rethinking my critiques of past ones. And yeah, I think I'd change my levels for some of them for sure.
Yeah, yeah. I'm right there with you, 100%. This is we are on a good arc of growth and learning and just enjoying some really dirty books.
Yeah, it's so funny, and it's a good time. It's a good time.
Yeah, yeah. All right. So past this point, spoilers. I know we've kind of given a few here and there. We're really sorry. It's hard. We get excited.
So
And
excited.
it's yeah, you wanna cut to the
Yeah,
good stuff.
you want to get into it. The show's out. You guys have watched the show. Half the people watching this have already seen the show.
Yeah. All right. So I do think the prologue was unnecessary, and I kind of wish that wasn't there.
It just dove in.
They dive in, and it removes the build up that is really actually quite enjoyable, where
Yeah.
there's fear and shame and friction, and
Well, yeah,
like Shane's
because
kind of freaking out, and Ilya, like there's like testing of the water, which I
yeah.
really was really good, and I don't think the prologue was necessary. I
Mm.
feel like that was an editor being like, you need to get to some dirty fucking raunchy sex faster.
Right away.
Let's-
Yeah.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It's yeah. I wonder because like I do feel like you already got to the like it took away the mystery, it took away the build, which I know. I wish I could go back and read it with just that to see how it would feel. But I agree. It threw you in right away. And I think because I knew of the show, it didn't feel that intrusive. So like my wife and like a bunch of people in my circle like are all about this. So like I kind of had an idea of what it was. And so it didn't mess me up too much, but hearing you say it, it totally makes sense. Like it kind of like throws
Yeah.
you in, you already get the story and then you go back to the build up. So yeah,
Yeah.
that's
I
interesting.
mean, we knew that they were going to hook up and
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
going to be a whole
yeah.
thing. It just felt unnecessary.
Unnecessary. Yeah. It was straight in. It was interesting.
Right in. Yeah, we went right into it. Okay. Besides that, as like the first scene where they hook up, really in the story, I like the way that they build is great and interesting. And they have this moment in the hotel gym or a gym. I can't remember if it was a hotel or not.
It was a
But they
hotel,
have
yeah.
this moment where there's like a lot of sexual tension, and it did make me think a lot about like what would I do in that scenario where there's some fear and shame and you're not
Yeah.
openly gay and you're then trying to test the waters and approach someone or understand if they're testing the waters and they're hitting on you. It's hard. I feel like I have a hard enough time with women
Yeah,
where
that's what
like I can miss it and be like, oh, you were flirting with me, like whoa, I totally had no idea. I feel like in that scenario where it's totally ambiguous
it's
and you have no idea,
somewhat
I would
dangerous, I would say, right?
right.
Like
I
or it
would
can
be
be.
I would die a lonely, untouched man. If
I had the same reaction. Like the water bottle scene, right? Like there's so much tension and like they're sweating because they're competing running on a treadmill, I think is what it was. And then he like hands in the water bottle and like gingerly touch fingers. Like if it was a hetero situation, I would still be like, could be reading this wrong. I'm the most dense person when it comes to that. I'd be like, oh, I read it wrong. There's no way she's interested in me at all. How does it happen
yeah,
here where it's like uber masculine space? Like there's no outwardly gay hockey players yet, and they don't even know if they're gay yet. Like Ilya's been experimenting, but Shane has not like been with a man yet. So it's like, whoa, there's
yeah,
so much fear there. It was interesting.
yeah. So you're Shane. What would you like? What would you do? What are your moves to be like very slyly be like, are
I
you
would
like
die
you
alone.
want some of this?
Yeah.
I do like the little slight touches, the water bottle touch. I feel like that would be like,
That's the closest thing I could think of is just softer touches. Like no slap ass. It'd just be like
yeah.
more like, hey, I'm acknowledging you as a body, not as a bro.
Yeah. What I would not ever do is any like looking or staring at the urinal in the showers because I feel like that would be like, whoa, cross heavy
Well,
boundaries
I think that's when the doors
and is
opened in
not.
the story, right? Like there was heavy staring in the shower. And I think that's when it got like, oh, there's interest here.
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder if that's a move because, like, do you like stare for a little longer? And if they're not like immediately like, "What are you doing?" You're like, "Oh, this is it."
I don't know. That feels not cool.
But I mean, like, have you seen like this is totally trope-ish and like a caricature probably, but like in shows and movies, and even like people have mentioned it where there's just like gay people have a like language that's very fast, and
Mm-hmm.
like the relationships move fast. Like you look at each other, and there's like a 2 second like, is this it? Is this it? Is this not? Boom, boom, and you move on. If it isn't, or you're like, yeah, this is it. Let's go. Let's do it. I feel like there's something that we as heteros do not understand. And I'm also like a bag of rocks when it comes to this stuff. And so I feel like
I'm
it's
gonna
go.
I'm gonna disagree with you, and also disagree that you are blind to it because we have had this experience on a boys' trip when we went to that Korean bathhouse, and that one
Oh
gentleman,
shit.
that one
This is
gentleman
good.
was staring a
Stare.
little too long and also giggling way too much. All of our it was five of us,
There's a
like our naked bodies, and it. I didn't feel threatened at all, and in fact, there was a part of me that was like, "Thank you." Yes, I do look good naked.
do you
Um,
do you,
but
you
there's
like?
another part of me that was like, "Bro, can you not linger that
Yeah,
long?
yeah.
Like, it's
Well,
not chill to look that long."
yeah.
Also, I don't appreciate the giggling.
Yeah, yeah. Why are you giggling? Are you judging me right now? I don't like this
Hurts
giggle.
my feelings.
I see. This is where again, this is total conjecture. Like I don't know any of this, but he was not gay. He was weird because he was looking and he didn't pick up the cue, right? Like, because like I think if they were really looking to engage, the cue would be like, we're
Hmm.
not looking back, and we're not like, like we didn't give any. Our cue was like, oh, like let's move from the sauna to the cold plunge, whatever. We moved on, right? Because the guy was being kind of weird. And again, please let me know if I'm way off here, but he was. It was just he didn't wasn't picking up on the cues of the room, like he wasn't reading the room. Well, I'm assuming
Maybe.
if I was trying to do this, I'd look, I'd check you out, I'd do the old up and down, and if you give me a quick signal back, I'd be like, oh shoot, he's up. Let's keep this going. But if you're like, oh, I'd be like, oh shit, wrong. I read this wrong. I'm out, and I'd quickly adjust. Oh, good heavens! But
sorry, sir.
oh, I thought this was exactly. I feel like this guy was weird and he didn't pick up the cues. It's so funny that you brought that up. Possible. That was a very real experience we had. How funny.
Yeah.
How funny.
Yeah. And like again, I didn't feel threatened. There wasn't a like you're threatening my masculinity or anything like that. It was just felt not chill.
Yeah. It was continuously
that's disrespectful.
Unwelcome.
Stop looking at my penis, bro. Like, come on. I just got out of the cold plunge. It's not appropriate time for you to be looking at me.
I have no time to fluff or anything. Yeah, and it was funny. There was a vast variety of humans in this all male bathhouse. So I don't know what he was giggling about, because there was a lot going on in that bathhouse.
It was not funny. All right,
it was not funny. It was
serious.
But yeah, I think the crazy, like the first actual like sexual encounter was pretty wild, because like, so they did the staring. How did they exchange numbers? Because I don't remember that part. That was after the first.
They don't. Yeah, it's after that.
Yeah,
they don't exchange numbers for a little bit. Actually,
you're right.
It takes some time. They have encounters in person.
Yes,
and they have 2 or maybe 3.
You're right.
Then then they actually test the waters.
Yeah.
And then they go. Ilya is the one who puts it out there,
right,
and invites Shane back to his hotel room.
Yeah.
And even then Shane is like, well, like, am I hearing what I think I'm hearing? Like, is this an actual offer? And do you want what I think you want?
Yeah.
Right. And it's like, he tells him to meet him he gives him just his hotel number or his room number.
Yeah.
And then a time. And then he's like, if you want to be there, be there.
And he was,
that was a power move. That was
big power move.
Baller.
Ilya like is a baller the whole time. Like, he's doing his thing. He's just like, you want it, you come get it. And if he wants it, he goes and gets it too.
Yeah.
It was great. Like, actually, like, loved his character in that sense. Like, very powerful, very like, I'm going to take what I want and come over if you want. I thought it was awesome. I liked his character in that way.
Yeah. Yeah. And so then Shane does want it, very patiently or impatiently waits, and then goes to Ilya's room. And it is a very like sweet, endearing scene, because Ilya can tell that Shane is super nervous.
Yeah.
And he right away is like, have you ever done this before? Have you ever been with a man? And Shane's like, no.
And he's like, do you have any toys?
I'm scared.
Yeah. I'm scared.
What do I do?
Yeah.
And so he like very softly introduces him to it all.
Yeah.
And they do have very funny conversation. They have very, very funny pillow talk.
Yes.
That I love.
Great pillow talk.
Is like, he asks him if he's like, oh, have you ever, done butt stuff? Have you ever played with your own butthole? And they have that funny scene where, they're like, Shane is like, oh, no, what? I would never, like, I wouldn't do that.
Why would you ask that?
Like, he's like, what? Does playing with your asshole make you gay, Hollander?
So funny. It's such a funny scene. And then his response is the best.
Yeah. Well, this is after they've hooked up, because then it's like, he's like, no, sucking my dick makes you gay.
Oh, it's so funny.
I feel like I would be the worst gay man, because I would make those jokes all the time.
I feel like you have to. You have to.
It would be like, partner reaches back, grabs me, like, oh, what are you, gay?
Totally. And that's what, like, the way Ilya interacted with it was nice. And like, even throughout the book, he's kind of like he's more bi, right? But he's very light about it, which is nice because it makes
Hmm.
Shane like easier to step into it, right? And like he can discover it.
He creates safety.
He created safety, man. It's there. It's always there. In a
Yeah.
powerful, like it's that dichotomy of like he's powerful and does what he wants, but he
Yeah.
allows someone to exist.
Yeah. He's very, very clear. I want this. I want you. I want to do these things. I think you like, I'm into this.
Yeah.
You want it? I'll do it with you. I'll do it for you. I'll do it to you.
Yeah.
These things
Yeah.
aren't weird, or we can be weird together. Doesn't
Yeah,
matter.
yeah. And like the way he like gets like bossy or like control and like in a safe, fun way, telling Hollander, to to do stuff is amazing. Like I feel like that was a good like take notes, everyone, whoever's playing that role. It's done so well. Where I'm like, oh, like I can see the desire here. I can see why Hollander likes this. And it's super
Yeah.
interesting.
Yeah. He does a really good job of portraying and teaching the power role.
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely. It's done super well. It's done super well. And what was interesting is like very quickly, or I thought this was interesting. I might be jumping too far ahead, but like very quickly, Ilya becomes the like traditional top here, and
Hmm.
Hollander becomes the bottom. And I feel like it made it like a good entry point to like, here's gay sex in a way that like anyone could kind of approach safely. Well, safely is not what I mean, but like it was easy to understand because it was like very, like they kept it very simple, which I know that real relationships aren't necessarily that simple. Like you could switch hit, you can do lots of different things. Like the relationship could look different ways, but they kept it really like, there's a mask and a femme here.
Hmm.
And I feel like it kept the story simple for a non-reader of MM. And so I assume
Yeah.
there's wilder ones that we're going to eventually see in down the road. But this one was like, oh, easy first step. Like it was very clear. It developed really nicely. So I thought that was nice. I thought that was, and it made me think of like, this is a woman author writing for women is what I'm picking up from it, which
Hmm.
made the whole context of it a little interesting too.
Yeah. Yeah. I found it very interesting, and I was trying to kind of put myself in that mindset of trying to understand what is arousing from
Yeah.
this,
Yeah.
what
Oh,
women could
yeah.
find arousing with this. And because then I was like, oh, would I be aroused if this was two women? And I'm honestly, in this context, in the book context, I'm not sure. I'm not sure that I would be aroused if it's two women.
I don't think I
I
would.
think without the visual aspect of it, I think I would approach it the same way that I approached this book, where I'm reading, learning, hearing about a relationship and two people
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
potentially love and intimacy and all those things. I don't know that I would have a visceral response, but I mean, that's something we'll have to read an FF book and see.
FF. Totally.
But I feel like, yeah, I kind of feel like I I wouldn't have a reaction.
Yeah. Here's some pieces that I've kind of picked up, and I'd be curious from like, more women's perspective, is that there's the idea that there's no like they're both strong, powerful men in the trope sense, right? Like strong, best hockey players in the league, fit, have all the money they need. Like neither of them need each other or need to take care of each other. Like that's
Hmm.
kind of this like I feel like that's the story of an MM book is like in the broadest strokes, right? Like I'm sure there's different ones, but is like there's because like if you look at the traditional smut books that we're looking, usually there's like the male character has all the money in the world. They're a hacker and they hacked the bank and they have all the money, right? Like they never have money issues. They're rich like they're all rich. They usually physically prowess, right? There's a physical prowess there, and so like that's what they come into. Like safety is money, power, physically, all that. What's intriguing about these MM books is that neither of them, they both have it. And so the desire
Yeah.
is that there's no like inequality between the two lovers. And I think that's what gets women like, what does that feel like? Like,
Yeah.
and
I
this
think
is
there is
a
something there.
theory. This is a theory. There's a theory.
Hmm. There's something there. Because they kind of touch on that, or the author kind of touches on that, of them being equals, and
She does a
the attraction of
yes.
that they are both these incredible hockey players, incredible athletes,
Yeah.
top of their game, like the best of the best.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's the like she does it throughout the book, right? Like they're the best. They both have tons of money. They both have multiple houses and cars and like there's never a lack in either of them, like physically and monetarily, like emotionally, right? Like that's different, right? And that's the story. But and I think that's the intriguing thing from a female perspective is that factor of like power is not in this in the same way because I just teasing that there's another book and there is a different factor there. There's a hockey player and a smoothie guy, and that has that same factor of like there's a power dynamic there. One guy has the cars and the house and the money, and the other guy works at a smoothie shop. So like I do feel like that's more similar to the traditional smut book, while this one is like they're equals. The power is the same. What happens then? And that's the excitement there.
Interesting. Yeah, question for listening audience,
Yeah, yeah.
eventual chat. Like,
Why do you like these?
yeah, hey, what do you find? Is this arousing?
Yeah.
What do you find arousing about it? I'm super, super curious.
Yeah, yeah. Definitely, definitely.
One of the things that I absolutely did not find arousing, and this is a plea to all authors, is for us, like I'm an author.
Not yet.
Well, hey, I write emails and text messages. Can we stop using slit to describe openings of the body? Shane's slit, like, oh god, that was gross. And it's not that it was, a man or male anatomy. I'm equally as disgusted when it's talking about female anatomy, where it's like, oh, god,
It is
please.
a very raw feeling word.
Yeah, it's like, it's just
He
grotesque.
thumbed his slit many times
Yeah.
in the book. A lot of slit thumbing.
Stay off my slit.
Hey, cool it, bud.
Stop barking up this tree and keep your fingers off my slit.
And you brought this up earlier before the show. I thought it was super funny because like apparently Shane pre-comes an insane amount, and he's like, "You get so wet for me, Hollander." Like he does. It's a very. That's how you talk. That's like typically how you describe a woman being aroused, and it was so funny. And like you brought this up, like it was very much like a woman. It was as if Shane was being written as a woman.
Yeah.
In the way he came across in some places.
Yeah. Yeah. That one very, very particularly. After I heard that, I was like, this is a female writer writing about a man as if it's a woman.
Yeah.
I don't know. That doesn't make sense to me at all. I have the equipment. There's no, like, I understand pre-cum and all that, but to be like, oh, you're so wet. It's like, it's not the same. It's not the same.
Yeah, yeah. And we know this because of how much lube was used in the book. There's lube all over this book.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I really had enjoyed the friction between the two of them as the relationship gets a little bit better. They're hooking up more, and this is like mid part of the book, and they come to this point where like Shane is trying to connect with Ilya and trying to build intimacy. And there's this moment where it's like them just hanging out is such uncharted territory.
Yeah.
And having this like male to male intimacy. And funny enough, or whatever, to me it was like, oh, this is what male relationships go through male relationships.
Yeah.
Where you kind of have this moment where it either stays very surface level or you become a little more vulnerable and you open up and you have this like deeper connection with a friend. And it's uncomfortable at first because as men, we're
vulnerable.
Told, this is gay. Like, that's a super gay thing. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, oh, I don't know. Is this okay? But when you kind of push through those boundaries, when you just...
you just suck the dick.
When you push through those boundaries and kind of be more vulnerable and open up, then you realize you're like, oh, actually this is good and
this is what a relationship is.
Yeah, and it's not gay to be like, oh, I love you.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
I cherish this relationship that I have with you, and I need you and this relationship. And I thought this was a really good exploration of that. I don't know if she did that intentionally. I can't
yeah,
imagine, because it's such a male experience
yeah, yeah.
for that to be such uncharted, and not just uncharted, but like weird, wrong territory. That's like the
It
best way I
always
can
feels
describe it, is that
awkward,
it's
yeah.
like wrong. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. It always feels forced too, right? Like you're like, now we're here, and like I feel like in the book it's a nice thing where it's you're in a place together where you don't have to be, which is a
Hmm.
weird thing for males. Like typically, like we're going to do X, or we're going to do Y, or we're going to play a sport, or we're traveling here for work. Like you have a reason to be together, or you're not together. But
Yeah.
in the book, like right, all of a sudden now like they're just hanging out in the house, like watching hockey. They're kind of doing something, but they're like casually hanging out, and like I think that's like the first approaching into male relationships where it's like, well, we can just exist together and still be cool and not have to like have an activity.
Yeah.
It's a weirdly, it feels wrong. I feel like it feels wrong to just be with another male.
Yeah. It is so weird to me that that is so natural for women
Yeah,
to
yeah.
like just fall into that space of intimacy, is, to me, is crazy. It has taken you and I years to get to that
It took
place.
forever. We've all heard it in some form or another. It's like the patriarchy hurts everyone, right? Like it
Hmm.
hurts males too for this reason, right? Like we have built up a story in our head of what it means to be a male, whether correct or incorrect, doesn't quite matter, right? We can't like we don't know how to relate with others, and we get lost in
Yeah.
this confusing space of how do we be friends and how do we get deeper and how do we just hang out? It just
Yeah.
doesn't exist for us.
Yeah. It is complicated. It is weird. And I like, this is a good book for that topic,
Oddly
because
enough.
like male culture, there are moments where it's like, "Ooh, is that gay?"
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, you
Yeah.
can't do that because that's gay," or "That's weird," or and so for in this book where it is a gay relationship, and then they come up against this scenario
They're
of,
still feeling
"Oh,
those
the
ways. Yeah.
intimacy is weird and we don't know
Yeah,
how to
yeah.
approach the intimacy." There's a moment there where you can be like, "Oh, it's not gay." Like all the when he played with his butthole, that was gay.
That was gay.
This
This is
part
not.
where, yeah, this
That's
ain't
really
gay.
powerful. The gay guys were having a hard time just hanging out together intimately as males. That's wild. That's wild. I wonder how rampant that is. And it might be.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that
Yeah.
actually blew my mind a little bit.
It made me feel both better and sad for like male culture in our society.
Yeah,
And because I've experienced that, it is hard to be
it is. It is.
intimate with close friends. Even now, like, I love you, and
Love you
there are
too.
moments where even still
Yeah.
it's like, is that weird?
Yeah.
It's not going to be received the right way. Like, is that strange?
And it's not something that just flows really, right? Like you have to be like, hey, I want to express a feeling and I want to let them know that they are close to me and I consider them close. And
Yeah.
you have, or at least I have to think about it. And I want to continue to think about it, but it's like, it doesn't feel flowy. I'm like, hey, you're important to me and I love you. That's really hard to do. And,
It
I thought
is.
I didn't think about it this way, but I love that you brought it up. Like even they had that a little bit, right? And they're physically intimate already, which
Yeah.
almost backwards, right? And I would be really curious, and maybe makes me want to read a couple more MM books to see like, does this happen with these relationships in general? I wonder. I wonder.
I wonder
That's
too.
super interesting.
I'd be really curious. Another thing that I'm curious about, and this is more, this is actually a question for women. So there's a scene later in the book where they go out to the club, and Shane is with his girlfriend Rose, who is a beautiful movie star. They're out at a club. Ilya happens to come out to that club, and they have this little like jealousy standoff,
Yeah.
right? Where Ilya's with this chick, Shane's with Rose. They see each other, and they're trying to like get each other jealous. And Ilya's chick doesn't pan out, and so he feels dejected, and he's all upset, and he leaves the club, and he goes home angry, right? And so I'm curious if women ever have this response. He goes home angry, and he jerks off in the shower in an angry fucking Hollander. And I do feel like that is a male response to be like, "Oh, fucking mad, like, and sad, and like."
Yeah. Well, I think, oh man, and we talked about this earlier, and I did not like it didn't connect yet, and it just connected for me. Where like even in a hetero sense, like if you ever get slighted, you probably go home and do that. You're like, oh, fuck, didn't go the way I wanted, but like, so revenge or anger, jerking off is a thing. Does it
Yeah.
happen in the female space? Be curious to
Curious.
know. Oh my gosh,
Happens in
that's
the gay
hilarious.
space. We know
Happens in
that.
the gay space. We know that for sure. Also, a little thing there, Ilya's girl in this or woman in this interaction has like a cuck boyfriend. Like,
Yeah.
like he's like, oh no, I have a boyfriend. He just wants to watch me dance with you. He just likes this. And I was like, whoa, they just sprinkled this in here. Like, yeah, my boyfriend's a cuck.
I know. I feel like they teased us a little
They,
bit
they
with
did.
that. I feel like there was a few scenes in the book where they teased a threesome where I was like, are we going this direction?
Yeah.
And it was very quickly like, nope, not happening.
Not happening. Shane is so pure. I feel like they had to keep Shane pure because I feel like Ilya was like, yeah, he's the provocative one. Shane was like, no, like missionary only.
Yeah, I know it does. It towards the very, very, very end where they're like hooking up and they finally are, have accepted being in love with each other.
Yeah,
and he's like, I want to sit on your lap so I can stare in your face.
I want to look in your face while you're fucking me.
Yeah,
that was wild.
Like,
that was like,
damn, boy.
And like, is that because like every encounter they had, like intimacy grew, like it got more and more like intimate. The sex did, and I was like, that's like. Is that like peak intimacy? Like I'm sure there's more, but in the gay community, is that like face each other?
Here was peak intimacy when they're on Skype. All right, they're on Skype, and Ilya's like point the camera down so I can see you beating it, and then Shane's like, put the camera back up so I can see your face.
Oh yeah,
like I want to see the look in your eyes when you come for me. And I was like, God damn,
yeah. That's intimate.
That was intimate. I feel like that is such an intimate moment.
Yeah, because like not only are you staring at each other, it's through digital medium. Yes. Like that's wild.
Yeah, it is wild. In this book, I feel like both characters are the worst dirty talkers ever.
Yes, they are. I felt like that was very relatable. I was like, I get
at a loss for words.
At a loss for words. And like, I was like, yeah, totally agreed. Because I was like, man, they're not that good at this. Because in most of the books you read, it's like they're spitting, they're dropping lines the whole time. You're like, whoa. This was like, take your pants off.
I love, Hollander, your penis and your penis hole.
I like your freckles. Keep your glasses on.
I know, it was relatable because you do get in those moments. You're like, what do I say?
Oh, what's next? I thought the Skype scene was a good like. That's how a new relationship has phone sex, digital sex. It's like kind of bumpy, but still fun, and like everyone had a good time. It was really good. Because it was terrible. It was terrible dirty talk. Terrible dirty talk. And Ilya's character should be good at that.
Yes. Yeah, right? That's exactly what I thought. Like, Shane, I get it. He should be terrible at it.
Yeah.
Ilya should be good at it, especially because of the type of person that he is. Not that he's dirty or like a whore or anything.
You know what?
But he's very in control. He knows exactly what he wants. He's willing to say exactly what he wants.
You know what? They kind of explain it a little bit. He doesn't feel comfortable in English.
Give it to me in fucking Russian. God damn.
Say it in Russian. And here, like a lot of his early moves is he just goes down on Shane quick. And I feel like that's his move. He's like, we don't need a dirty talk. I'm busy. I'm busy right now. Exactly. Like powerful move, by the way.
It's a powerful move.
It works. Can say it works.
Can't dirty talk if your mouth is full.
Okay, one of the things we have to ask, I think we should do this this should be a recurring segment, is how did this work? The scene segment is we had a 2P one hand situation. Very intimate, very beautiful scene. How did it work? Was it ski pole style, tip to tip, base to base, or is it bear claw, two hands, two P's? How did it work?
Okay.
diagrams.
I feel like you described 3. I feel like ski poles is
Yeah.
side to
Oh, you're
side.
right. Ski poles would be
Tip
side
to
to side.
tip is like you could be going across
That's
this
true.
way.
Dang, so many
Ski
possibilities.
poles this way.
Yeah, ski poles,
or
yeah, next to each other, ski poles.
or Edward 40 hands.
Edward 40 hands. Yep, yep. And I don't know if the book really describes it. I don't know if it does. It just mentions that it's 2. I'm pretty sure it says 1 hand, so it's 1 hand. So it's not ski poles this way.
I envisioned 2 hands.
2 hands.
Because in my head, I laughed where I was like, that's hilarious. Like how much you were working. But one of them is you. So then
you're like oh my gosh, dude. So I will oust myself. I saw the show. I literally just saw this scene in the show. I like it was on TV. Wife was watching it, and I saw this scene, and I was like, "What is he doing?" And she was
it's
like,
off camera.
"It's off
right?
camera, right? Like they're not showing it." So I was like, "What is he doing there?" It looked interesting, right? And she's like, "Oh, he's doing both of them at the same time," and I was like, "Oh!" And then I happened to get to that part of the book later, so I understand a little bit of the what's going on, but I don't want to say it. I want last time we did this, last time we asked, how is this possible? Someone drew a stick figure diagram for us and posted it in the comments. So how does this work? Tell us. Tip to tip? 2 hands? 1 hand? I want to know.
I feel like someone's missing out if you got both of them in there like that. Like,
and if you're squeezing to the point where you can get full closure, blood's not getting anywhere. Like there's no movement. That's too tight. That's too tight.
Hollander's wet, dog. He's super wet. So
the pre-cum was making moves at this point.
Gooey.
Oh, but that's what's interesting. Yeah.
I feel I'm trying to do this like it's a
2
fingers out on one. And then
that's chess. That's chess, not checkers, right there. Because there's an episode of it's Silicon Valley, I think.
But yeah, it is
doing
Silicon
like
Valley.
a math problem on like
jerking
how
everyone off in the room.
Yes,
and then you have to go
tip
to tip.
Tip to tip is the most efficient way to do it. And so that's why I was like, is it this way? Tip to tip? That came to mind when I was reading this. I was like, oh, efficiency, tip to tip.
At some point, you'd have to do tip, 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 just for science.
Just for the experience. Yeah.
I mean, that is docking, right? Like it is real.
It's docking, you're right. How do you know which one opens up to accept the other?
You'll know in the moment.
You'll know. So diagrams, please. Explanations, maybe personal experience. Who knows?
yeah. I have not been in a situation to be jerking myself off and another man, so I don't know. But now I've thought a lot about it.
Thought about more than I ever thought I thought about it. It's interesting.
I know that scene. I cackled in that scene. There was so much of this book where I laughed really hard. I laughed out loud. It approaches things so lighthearted and fun, but also serious and meaningful and sweet and tender, where I went through a whole range of emotions.
Yeah, that's why it was written so well. Yeah, it was. You're up and down. You're laughing. You're kind of angry. They kind of miss each other, but not in a cheesy way. But then they come back, right? Like it's done so well.
The missing each other and the friction really is based around fear and shame and acceptance, and if they would be accepted, which feels natural, feels really good. It's like, yeah, that makes sense. I understand why one of them or both of them would pull back. There's like fear and trepidation around diving into that more.
Yeah. And I thought it was really funny because like if you don't understand like the hockey space or like a rival sports space, like that was the bigger issue. The fact that they're like bitter rivals was the issue more than like them being gay.
I kind of get that though.
Yeah,
I kind of
totally. That's what I'm saying.
And I did love the competition between the two of them. That was probably the only moment, not probably, definitely, the only moment where I visualized myself and being like, oh, I totally
I would do
would
the same
be.
thing. Yeah.
Yeah, I would be so competitive where I'd be like, fuck you, bro. You're not good at this shit. I'm good at this.
Yeah, yeah. And that's what like that was part of the endearing nature of the relationship is like on the ice they're like I want to be the best and I want you to be the
Hmm.
best too and like let's be great together. And it was a competition but like camaraderie at the same time. It was so nice and like it was cool to see that and the relationship blossom together. It was interesting because like they loved playing together when they were on the same team like a couple of times. It was like they loved it. Like he knew how to trust him. They knew how to read each other well, right? Like that was cool and like it translated across like their relationship came through on the ice and typically they were opposed but sometimes they were together and when they were together it was flowy and I was like oh this is beautiful.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so I had a funny experience with this where I got to about like 3/4 of the way through the book, and I'm saying to myself, this isn't very dirty. Like there wasn't anything that really got to me that I was like, oh, this is either too much or make me blush kind of level
Yeah,
of
yeah.
smut, right? And right as I think that, we get to the tossing of the salad scene where he's licking his booty hole, and I was like, God damn, what the fuck?
It goes
And
into
that
so much detail.
that made me cringe. I'm curious for anyone else. I have no interest whatsoever with having my salad toss anything in my beehole. I have no interest. I don't want it. I'm not like grossed out where I'm freaked out, but I'm like, I know I don't want it. I don't want anything there. And so as I'm reading this, I'm like, no, thank you.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. It was it was a surprise because of how like tame all of it was. All of it felt relatively tame. And then it was like, boom, eating the booty like groceries. Like it went full send to it. And it was a little jarring because like the nature of the book wasn't like freaky. And like some people might say this is not freaky, but for us, novices in this space, it felt that way. I was like, oh shit.
For the book it did, because
Yeah,
we
yeah,
did not get. It's very mild. They touch on some of that. There's not a lot
yeah.
of description. Weirdly, there's a ton of description around each of them coming on their own tummies.
Yeah,
Where it's like
there is.
every time it's like, and I came on my own stomach.
Tummy. It came on his stomach, and it was funny because like there's I think twice they mention it that they take turns cleaning up, and I thought that was like just imagining that was hilarious to me. Like I imagine one of them just like, oh hurry up, like I'm sticky, like like oh hurry please, because like in the hetero space it's like there's a flow to this. Like, well, let me go
Yeah,
get some. I'll come with a towel. I'll come clean up. I'm. It's
yeah.
it's a part of this. But here's like they're individually cleaning up. It's like hurry
They're
up,
like,
please.
my jizz is everywhere. Your jizz is
Jizz is
everywhere.
everywhere.
Here, go. You go clean up,
You
then
go
I'll
clean up
clean up.
first. Yeah, and I'm sure
Yeah.
there's complexities to this that I don't understand, but it was hilarious. Just imagining someone sticky sitting in a bed and being like, "Hurry, please."
I can't move. Yeah, you can't sit there too long because that'll harden up
That'll
real quick.
crisp up real quick. Kane brings it up. He's like feeling so guilty about coming on sheets was so funny because this is like the first time he's getting like penetrative sex. He comes and he's like pointing towards the sheets, right? He's like, no. And like, he's like, oh no, the maid, they're going to have to clean this. And I was like, that's so nice. Like, he's such a sweetheart. Like, immediately after coming, he's like, the maids, I fucked up. Like, I dirtied this whole shit up. That was hilarious. That was hilarious.
Does that make me a bad person that I've never thought of that? I've never been like, oh God, I'm sorry. I just everywhere.
I love jizz everywhere. I'm pretty sure that's what hotels are for, right? Like, it's par course.
Yeah, you just take the sheets off, roll it up into a ball, throw it in the corner. It's the international symbol. Gloves for that.
Yeah, gloves for that. Gloves for that. Gonna go into like the softy feely like book side of things. Real hard pivot. Then we'll pivot back because there's more. One thing I thought was really interesting was Shane treated his physical home as sacred and
Mm.
not his emotions as much, while Ilya was the opposite. Ilya was like, yeah, come over. Why can't I see your place? But he was like guarded with his personal feelings more and his family and stuff. I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah.
And I didn't like come up with anything in my head, but I thought that was like an interesting way that they were like different in another way. It was interesting because towards the end, Ilya was, when he was like in love with Shane, all he wanted to do was see his house. Like, he started dreaming up of what it looked like, and he was like, "It's definitely navy blue sheets. It's boring, and a picture of his parents." Like, he had a whole idea, and he was like, "Let me see it. I want to see your room." And that was an intimate moment for Ilya.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was when they were Skyping. That was so sweet. I thought about that. It stuck out to me too, where he wanted to see everything. He took so much interest in this personal aspect
Yeah.
of Shane's life. Maybe, maybe because Ilya felt so, one, he's transplanted from his home. Moscow was his home, but also two, he felt so unwelcome and there was a real danger in his home, and so like he's a disconnect from his home. I don't, who knows?
No,
But I did really like that between the two of them. It gave simple depth to the characters.
Yeah, and like it was like quick story building, right? Like, this little piece allowed the character to be deeper and understood in a different way very fast. Because it comes out later, Shane buys like this building so that they don't go to his house. And he's like, no, it's an investment. I'm renovating. Like, I'm going to rent these out. And then later, Ilya's like, you just bought that so I wouldn't come to your house. And he's like, yeah, I was scared. It's hilarious. It's so funny.
I bought us a fuck shack.
This is a fuck shack. Okay, the tearjerker thing. So he opens up about his mom, right? Ilya does.
Yeah.
About how he lost his mom, like suicide's a part of it. I don't even know if they say the word, but like it's a very sad story, right? And it's like tearing him up. It's something, the cross that he wears is his mom's. It's like a very big piece of it all. And they make a charity together that's like suicide prevention. Oh my gosh. Like, my heart was melting. I was like, he cares so much. Like, it was simple, right? Like, saying it out loud, it's like, oh yeah, of course. But it was so pure. It was so wholesome that I was like, this is beautiful. This book's amazing.
Well, you get to that moment, and throughout the book, Ilya is so guarded with his feelings.
Yeah.
Shane, as they do get closer and they do share intimate moments, Shane continues to probe and wants to connect and hear. Like, he talks about saying, he wants to be a friend to Ilya. He wants to hear what's going on. He wants to, be someone that Ilya can express these things.
Yeah.
And Ilya has a lot of trouble doing that. And he very sparingly shares information. And it's like the very end where he talks about his mother taking a whole bottle of pills and killing herself. And then in that moment when they're on camera and they're unveiling their friendship and unveiling the charity. Thank you. And Ilya then shares this piece about his mother.
Yeah.
Unexpectedly. Like, I didn't expect it.
Yeah.
Right? And you're like, as soon as he does it and starts doing it, you're like,
he's healing.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
I had this moment of where I was like, you homos, you're making me cry. I'm so happy for you. Like, it was this.
That's so funny.
So sweet.
Yeah.
Throughout that book, honestly, there's these moments where I was like, God, two gay boys are so cute and so sweet. And I'm rooting for you. I want you to be happy. I want you to be together. I want you to, like.
That's why I think it was such a good book, is like, you rooted for them the whole time. Even when one's a jerk or the other one's like making a mistake, you're like, no, they can get through this. This is going to be great. Your relationship's going to be amazing. And like, it's cute the whole time. And it's so fun to watch.
It is. I loved their relationship. I rooted for them. At the same time, this book could not have been better confirmation of how not gay I am. Because
I felt the same way.
There is no part of this where I was like, maybe. Or I'm kind of interested in it. I was very confirming of like, no, thank you. I don't want any of those things. I wasn't grossed out. Okay, I was grossed out when he was thumbing Shane's slit. That one, I was like, ugh. A little gross around the booty hole, but that's just me and booty holes. Or my booty hole, I guess. But it is very like, oh, there's no visceral reaction to this. There's no
Yeah.
interest. Whereas
It was
like the
neutral, I felt like.
other books where, it's male and female characters, and it's like, whew, whew.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I'll try some of that. Or, it's very stimulating, very
Right. I'm like,
arousing.
whoa. My nipples didn't pebble at all reading this.
No,
For
no,
sure.
and I cared deeply for them. I wanted their relationship to work. I was so happy when it did work. I was so
Yes.
moved and touched when they were like emotionally intimate
Emotionally,
together.
I was so drawn in. Like I was in the whole way. And that's it. I didn't think about it in that like contrast of like, because I would say in other books that I actually enjoyed the book, emotionally they didn't do it for me, right? Like, well, this one it absolutely did. Like I felt it the whole time. Emotionally, I felt like it was really pushing it, and that's interesting. Yeah,
Hmm.
because I was not aroused, but I was emotionally intrigued.
Yeah, or I mean, I think, maybe I can speak for both of us in saying you recognize a level of emotional intimacy where you're like, I
Yeah.
love that. I yearn for that. That is
Yes.
a deep connecting that looks, sounds, feels so good.
100% in my own head, like because I do this every time, right? I would put myself into a character and I would imagine the other one as a female, like selfishly. Maybe out of fear, maybe I'm just so hetero that I'm afraid. But no, like I would do that. I'd be like, oh, I see how this relationship goes, or I see how this would work in a hetero space. Weirdly, I would kind of do that myself,
Hmm.
because the relationship was so good. It was done so well.
Yeah. 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 And I think more than anything, like I'm voicing that and saying those things to prevent fear around,
Yeah.
like, oh, I don't want to read a gay
Gay
book.
book.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
okay, bro. But also, it's a sweet story. And honestly, if you are secure in your own sexuality, you will laugh hysterically.
Yeah.
You will enjoy the hell out
Yeah.
of it.
Totally.
There's not anything in it that should make you
Yeah.
feel
And
threatened.
I'd love to know from the gay community, specifically the male gay community, like is this book good to you? Like was this book arousing? Was it like all the things that like in the hetero books we've read that happened to us heteros? I'd be really curious, like do gay people read this book and have the same reaction, or is this meant for women to enjoy? What
Me
is
too.
this? Yeah.
I'm so curious too, because I have this theory, and I had said this to you, that I feel like the author had written Shane and Ilya as, essentially as women,
Mm.
and that the one like hetero male in the story that we
Yeah.
do get to know well, Hayden, which is like Shane's best friend, he is like your stereotypical bumbling male idiot.
He's an idiot.
Incompetent, like
Yeah.
so much incompetence. And so I'm curious, yeah, like does Ilya and Shane does that portray a typical gay relationship?
Mhm.
Is it
Is
not?
that how we're viewed by the gay community? Maybe.
Like Hayden? God, please.
We're
No,
hated,
I hope
dude.
not.
I try not to be.
Hayden was a ding dong.
Yeah, yeah. He definitely was. The scene where he's like taking care of the kids, I'm like, I'm not that bad of a dad. Like I can handle a trip with my kids without being
Oh, dude.
lost completely.
Yeah, you're a great dad.
We're better dads than that. We're better dads than
Yeah.
that.
Yeah. That was so upsetting. If there's
Yeah.
one thing that really bothered me about the book, not any of the gay stuff. It was the one heterosexual character, Hayden. It
Piece of
was
shit.
yeah, God,
Yeah.
fuck.
And it's funny because he's the first one to piece it together.
He's like, math, math, math.
Yeah, he's like, he
Ilya, you're with
disappears.
Ilya.
Yeah.
You keep going. I can't remember. He's like, you keep traveling here. Your
Yeah.
parents don't travel there.
Yeah. Yeah. And he's like,
Clearly, you're having sex with Ilya.
every time we were with Boston, you would be gone. And every other city, you'd stay in the room with me or whatever, because they're like roommates when they traveled. And he's like, fuck. He's like, yeah, the math was pretty easy, bro. Like, you did not try that hard.
I feel like his dad was like that too, where Shane's dad was like, it checks out. We kind of knew you were gay.
It was funny when they were like, yeah, we had suspicions. We had suspicions.
Not with Ilya, but we definitely had suspicions.
We thought there was something there. Yeah, it was that part was funny, like the hetero part. I thought the dad was played the dad character really well. He was sweet and
Yeah.
like appropriate reaction was nice, like rounded it off. It was good. So like the reaction
Yeah.
being like he catches them sitting on a dock, I don't know, drinking wine and eating cheese or something. Like I'm sure
And
that's
kissing. They're like
kissing.
making
They're
out.
kissing. They're making out, and he's like, "Ugh, ugh," and he drives off. He just like leaves. Ooh, it was comical. I don't know what I just saw. I'm out of here. I don't want to talk about it. And like bolts. But it wasn't because of the gay thing. It was like more because Ilya's his rival. They hate each other. That's the narrative that
Yeah.
the whole like hockey scene was portraying. And then they go over to clear it up. The best part is, you brought this up, is how Ilya introduces their
Yeah,
relationship.
Shane's mom is she's kind of freaking out. I love her reactions because she's so hyper competitive. But then she's like, "What are you guys?" And Shane's like, "Fuck, we haven't had this conversation. Like, what are we? I have no idea."
Yeah.
And then Ilya's like, "We're lovers."
We are lovers. It's so good. Like the Russian accent, the gross way to describe a relationship. Incredible. Chef's kiss. Like that was one of the funniest parts of the book.
Why is it so weird to describe a relationship as like we're lovers? It's so like
Because it only means sex, right? Like it doesn't mean anything else in that context. Like, oh yeah, we're lovers. It means you don't actually have an intimate relationship. It means you just fuck. That's what lovers means. We are lovers. I keep going to the Hispanic accent. It's funny. That's what I imagine a lover being, is just a Hispanic.
Yeah, that was a hilarious scene. And I love the mom's so hyper competitive and her reaction just being like freaking out with Shane and being like, "You haven't purposely lost to him. You haven't let him win, have you?"
Yeah. That's what she's like disgusted with. Like, did you lose on purpose? That was appalling to her, which is amazing. And that's what like his parents being like that was like ultimate parents. It was crazy how like awesome relationship, like trusted them, was like always around. They always had his back. It was really cool to see just like, oh, he has great parents. And I think it was probably healing for a lot of people, which is like, even if you have great parents, this is scary.
Yeah.
And it was still scary for him, even though he knew his parents would be good with it and that wasn't be a problem. Like there was still like this fear. And like, I hope that's like cool in this community where anyone who's in the closet or not ready to come out is like, hey, it's always scary. Even if it's good, it's okay to be scared. Like I thought that was an interesting little tidbit.
Yeah. And like, even if they are cool, there's going to be elements that they don't understand.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Like
totally.
both the mom and dad didn't understand aspects of it. It didn't make it wrong.
Right. Right.
But there were things
there's
that
still
they
questions.
for sure didn't understand. Yeah.
Totally. Totally.
And like understandably, that's got to be scary as hell. Like I thought about that throughout the book. What would I do in this situation? How would I handle this? What would go through my head if I was carrying this huge secret that felt shameful? And I do have some experience of, growing up in religion and carrying shame and doing all these things. Not to that level by any means, but enough to be like, oh God, dude, that must be so heavy. That must be awful. And how
it is a parallel
unfair.
to that, like religious shame. I again, the magnitude's probably different, but like shame and suffering is still there, right? And I feel the same way. Like growing up in uber religious communities, you just innately have this fear of like, I'm less than because of how, like what I want and what I'm doing. And that is crazy. And like, just translating that to like who you are as a being, like I'm attracted to males, right? And like all of a sudden you are now not the same as everyone else and you're not worth the same as everyone else. And like, that's an insane feeling. Like we get a taste of it through that. Like we both grew up in like very religious communities. Yeah. Like it's wild to have that parallel.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, all I think to say is a deep book. It's at the same time, it's like it's an inch deep and a mile wide. But
you can dig in. Yeah, I think you can dig in. There's lots of things you can dig into. And like I'm about to rate the book higher. I am getting moral lessons from this book and I didn't even realize it. That's the best part about talking through it is more and more comes out.
Yeah, it is. I do think there's so much value in this and discourse around different topics, especially books, and like delving into it and having a little book club, because like sharing your thoughts, innermost thoughts, your experiences, your reactions, and hearing someone else's is so powerful.
Yeah. And I think it's super interesting to like like exploring the realm of sexuality in a non like judgmental is not really the word I'm looking for, but like non-critiquing way where we're just like
Mhm.
reading it as entertainment. And it's been really interesting. Like it's
Yeah.
allowed me to think and express in a lot of different ways in different parts of my life because I'm able to remove like again, background in religious communities, the shame around sexuality, and then the like openness that it can be in a way that I've never been able to experience before. And this has been a really interesting experience because of that. Like,
Yeah.
yeah.
It's taken us like 15 books to get to
Yeah,
this
yeah,
level.
yeah. Community, like the chat being so like
Yeah.
positive, like it's really cool what everyone's saying. Everyone's wow, like yes, finally people are starting to talk about it, and like it's cool to see the welcoming arms of this community because we weren't sure at the beginning how it would be received, but it's been very
You
welcoming.
know, to be fair, we didn't. Our one of the first experiences was a very unwelcoming one, at
That's
least to
true.
me.
That's true. It was not welcoming. We did have negative feedback early in the game, and we were like, you never pull out, you push through. And then we got welcome feedback. So thank you for the positive feedback out there.
Really and truly, thank you.
Yeah.
This is one of the like highlights of my day, or like my day to day, or
Yeah.
my week or month.
Totally.
It is really,
It's fun.
really
It's fun.
fun.
Yeah. Yeah. No, love it. Any other weird sex stuff that made you ask, how did this happen?
Okay.
Shoot. Shoot.
I am so curious, not in that I want this for myself, all right? Because I've already said I don't want anything in my butt. But in hearing Ilya having sex with Shane and causing Shane to come, I'm like, really?
Prostate. Yeah.
So that absolutely was a moment where I was like,
Yeah,
I still don't
totally.
want anything in my butt. However,
You know
I'm
what got
intrigued.
me that I was like oddly intrigued by the open yourself up for me like line where like so he's having the scene is he's having Shane like do this little like seductive dance jerk off moment, undress moment.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's like, open yourself up for me. Like, open the back door for me. And I'm like, whoa, that one got me like, oh shit, like this is real. Because that was like introduced earlier, like he would do that, right? Like Ilya would, start to open up the corridor,
Yeah, loosen him up
loosen
and
him up
lube
a
him up,
bit.
and
Yeah, get him ready. He's a gentleman. Spit twice, be nice. He's being nice about it, right? And so when he was like, open yourself up for me, and he does it as a like striptease kind of thing,
seduction.
seduction thing. I was like, whoa, that's never crossed my mind. I thought that was it.
Yeah,
I was
now
like,
that you say that, like, there's a part of me that I'm like, I want to use that, like, open yourself up for
yeah,
me, and
dude,
then I
that's a line.
guarantee you, in the moment, she'd be like, "What?"
What the
I'd be
fuck?
like, no, no, no,
No.
oh shit.
Like,
Okay, oh,
worm,
loosen yourself up for me.
get loose, baby.
Stretch yourself out. Oh fuck no.
Spread eagle.
Forget I said
So, never
anything.
mind. Never mind.
Just grab the lube, I guess.
Just we're done. No. But that one is like, that was one that came to my mind. Like, how do you do that? Like, because it was obvious in the book and it was like flowy, but it's like the threesome stories or like foursome stories where like everyone knows what to do and it's just like a coordinated dance. Not in real life. This was similar. I was like, it was very flowy, and he's like, open yourself up for me. And I was like, oh, I know what I'm doing. I know what I'm going to do for that. How do we do that?
Yeah.
I like that power move. I want to try to be dropping lines like that.
I think you have to be okay with the what do you mean?
What do you mean? That's what we talked about this last podcast. If you're not embarrassed a little bit, you're not trying hard enough. Guys, just try it. Just throw it
Yeah.
out there. Hey, open yourself up for me, baby.
All right, with that, we got to end on that. That was a
And that's-
beautiful one.
That's a wrap. That's a wrap. Thanks for listening to
And I've
another.
always said that.
And I've always said that. And I've always said that. So good drop. That was a good drop. Thanks for listening to another, Smut Curious Book Club podcast.
Yeah.
This was a good one. This was a good one.
Hit us up with some new suggestions, because we actually do not have anything on the docket. We
don't.
need a
And
suggestion.
the comments have dropped suggestions, and we've been listening to them. So drop another one.
Yeah, I mean, Haunting Adeline, we read based on a comment. This we read based on a comment.
Yep. The one before, Dangerously Safe, it was an author that dropped in, and she volunteered, and she is awesome. If
Slid
she's
into the
listening to
DMs.
this, yes.
Yeah, it was, I really appreciate that.
Yeah, that was awesome. A great book too. Plug. But yeah, thanks for listening.
Till next time. Bye.